Welcome to the Wilderness Season podcast. I'm your host, Sherry Ward. I have a passion to bring hope and breakthrough to those experiencing the toughest times of their lives. In this podcast, we will give you critical insights and revelations as I interview people just like you, those who have been right where you are and understand exactly what a wilderness season is all about. It's real, it's raw, it's practical. Come join the conversation. Welcome to the Wilderness Season podcast. All right, Krista, I just wanted to have you back because there was something that you shared that was really good. And it was, how do you feel when you're healed in the wilderness?
Right. It was a piece, and it came from a question called, "What must it be like to be cured?" And perhaps I wrote this in my journal. Perhaps it would be like coming up for air, as if from a deep dive underwater, or climbing out of a dark cave into the blue sky sunlight. Perhaps it might feel overwhelming at first, even disorienting. Perhaps you'd feel sorrow because you've recovered and so many haven't. And that has happened in the last few years since my healing. You might realize how precious your spouse and kids are, but perhaps still feel too fragile to really embrace them because your mind has been on hold to this part of life for so long. It is preoccupied and finds it hard to be present. That was really difficult because in illness, you're very preoccupied with self and what you need to do next. So coming back to your kids, your family, visualizing what it would be like and who I wanted to become when I was healthy and whole again, and walking towards that. And it might not just be a part of our body, but also our mind, our relationships, and our soul healing over time.
Wow, that's so good. And I think you told me that when you got healed, you felt like broken glass. Do you want to unpack that real quick?
There was a part that I had written as I journaled many a day, and there'd been a lot of physical healing and maybe a lot of victory and overcoming. But that I had written, there are moments of joy and total love. There are victories. But right now today, I feel like a piece of shattered glass, just fragmented and kind of unable to grasp all the pieces at once. And there are days like that. And so even though you have a healed, clean blood lab, the pieces of your life are different. And so that piece I wrote where you have to start thinking of living again and who you want to become at the, at that transformation point. So it doesn't mean that there weren't still times it felt like all the things were different and I didn't know how to pick up the pieces. But it was very wonderful to start not having every question be about, how are you doing? How are you doing?
How are you feeling?
Right.
And I think God wants us to put it together in a different way. So when everything's shattered, when it does come back together, it's going to be a beautiful new picture.
Different picture.
With humility,
Mm-hmm.
with humility and with power and authority.
That's right.
So it's a
we
combination.
will be transformed.
Yep. I think it's with humility and power and authority. Well, thank you so much again for sharing that last little bit. I just know it was so good that I wanted to drop those golden nuggets. So thank you again so much for having us on the show today. So thank you. All right. Until next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. It's Sherry Ward here with a really quick announcement. I am so excited that my next book, Crossing the Jordan, Navigating Life's Transition and Changes, is coming out soon. It's in the final editing stage. It'll be the second book in the trilogy. So the first one is the Wilderness Season, and then we've got this Crossing Over season. And it is an actual season. Nobody talks about it. It's the tail end of the wilderness and what happens right before you come out of the wilderness and go into your promised land. So stay tuned. We would love to have you on the Zoom call for our book launch coming up soon. All right, until next time, see you later. Thank you for listening to the Wilderness Season podcast. If you need help navigating through your own wilderness season, pick up a copy of my book, A Journey Out of the Wilderness, available on Amazon. Also, continue the conversation online with us by going to our Wilderness Season Facebook page. For resources and events, you can go to www.sherrylynnward.com. If you have enjoyed this show, please subscribe and review our podcast. Just remember, you're not alone.